My beloved one, come closer. Sit with me for a moment, not in hurry, not in striving, not in guilt, but in willingness. For discipline is not born of force. It is born of love. I see you as you are now, not as you fear you are, and not only as you hope to be. I see the days when you rise with resolve, and the days when resolve feels far away. I see your intentions, your delays, your quiet promises to yourself, and the places where you grow weary of beginning again. And still I call you. I pray over your discipline, not as the world defines it, but as my Father formed it in you from the beginning. Not as punishment, not as rigidity, not as relentless pressure, but as alignment. For discipline is simply love practiced over time. My Father is not impressed by sudden bursts of devotion that burn bright and disappear. He delights in steady hearts. He rejoices in daily choosing. He honors the quiet courage it takes to return again and again to what is good, what is right, what is life-giving. So I pray that consistency would take root in you, not as a burden, but as a rhythm. I pray that you would begin to understand discipline not as something you do to yourself, but something you partner with me in. For I walked this road before you. I rose early to pray when my body desired rest. I withdrew when crowds demanded more. I obeyed when obedience was costly. I chose the Father's will when every emotion in me cried for another way. Not because it was easy, not because I felt strong every moment, but because love required faithfulness. And I pray that same faithfulness would be formed in you. I pray that discipline would stop feeling like resistance and start feeling like refuge. That your routines would become sanctuaries. That your habits would become altars. That the small, repeated acts of obedience would quietly shape you into someone unshakable. I pray over your mornings. When you wake and the day rushes toward you with noise and obligation, I pray you would remember that the first voice you listen to shapes every other voice that follows. Let discipline teach you to pause before you consume, to breathe before you react, to listen before you speak. Not because silence earns righteousness, but because presence cultivates clarity. I pray that you would learn to show up, even when motivation does not. Because consistency is not fueled by feelings, is fueled by trust. Trust that what you do daily becomes who you are eventually. Trust that seeds planted quietly still break soil. Trust that obedience unseen is still obedience honored. I pray over your body, that you would learn to steward it, not neglect it, not worship it, but care for it as a vessel meant to carry purpose. Let discipline guide your rest. Let discipline guide your nourishment. Let discipline guide your movement. Not out of shame, not out of comparison, but out of gratitude. For your body is not an obstacle to holiness. It is a partner in it. I pray you would stop waiting to feel worthy before you act with care. Discipline does not wait for perfection. It creates space for growth. I pray over your mind. I see the loops of thought you fall into, the distractions that fracture your focus, the mental habits that drain your peace. I pray that discipline would train your thoughts gently but firmly, that you would learn to return your mind when it wanders, that you would practice replacing what is destructive with what is true, that you would grow patient with yourself as you learn again and again. For the mind, like the heart, is shaped by what it returns to most often. And I pray that consistency would build resilience in you, that when you fail, and you will, you would not abandon the path. I pray you would stop mistaking failure for disqualification. A disciplined life is not one without missteps. It is one that refuses to quit. I pray you would learn the holy power of returning to prayer, returning to truth, returning to integrity, returning to effort. For every return strengthens you. I pray over your work, the tasks that feel mundane, the responsibilities that feel repetitive, the labor that seems unseen. I pray that discipline would teach you faithfulness in small things. Because greatness is not built in moments of applause. It is built in moments of consistency no one claps for. Let your diligence become worship. Let your excellence become testimony. Let your persistence become proof that my spirit is at work in you. I pray you would resist the lie that success is sudden. The kingdom does not grow by spectacle. It grows like yeast, quietly, steadily, invisibly at first. So I pray that discipline would anchor you when progress feels slow, that you would trust the process even when you cannot measure the fruit. I pray over your emotions. I know how powerfully they speak to you. I know how convincing they can be. I know how easily they can pull you away from what you committed to yesterday. I pray that discipline would teach you to honor your emotions without being ruled by them, that you would learn to act in alignment with truth even when your feelings resist. For feelings are real, but they are not reliable leaders. I pray you would stop waiting to feel ready. Readiness often comes after obedience, not before it. I pray over your spiritual life. That prayer would become less about intensity and more about constancy. That you would stop measuring closeness to God by emotional highs and start measuring it by daily faithfulness. I walked with my Father not only in moments of glory, but in long, quiet stretches of obedience. And I pray you would learn to treasure the quiet faith. The faith that shows up when nothing dramatic happens. The faith that prays when heaven feels silent. The faith that keeps walking when clarity has not yet arrived. That is the faith that endures. I pray that discipline would guard you from burnout. Yes, guard you. Because discipline teaches limits. Discipline teaches rest. Discipline teaches when to stop as well as when to go. I do not ask you to exhaust yourself for me. I ask you to walk with me. And walking requires pace. I pray that you would stop equating worth with productivity. Your value is settled. Discipline does not earn love, it expresses it. So let discipline flow from identity, not insecurity. I pray over the long view of your life. The person you are becoming through daily choices. The legacy being shaped by consistency rather than intensity. I pray you would understand that what you repeat, you reinforce. Every time you choose integrity, you strengthen it. Every time you choose patience, you deepen it. Every time you choose faithfulness, you root it. And one day, you will look back and realize you were being transformed long before you noticed. I pray over your resistance. The parts of you that want ease over growth. The parts that crave comfort over calling. The parts that fear the cost of discipline. I do not condemn those parts. I invite them to be healed. For discipline is not about denying yourself joy. It is about choosing the deeper joy. The joy of becoming whole. The joy of walking in alignment. The joy of finishing well. I pray that you would stop seeing discipline as loss and start seeing it as freedom. Freedom from chaos. Freedom from regret. Freedom from living at the mercy of impulse. I pray over your future, that the consistency you practice now would build a foundation that holds you when storms come. Because storms will come. And discipline is what allows you to stand when emotions shake, when circumstances shift, when pressure mounts. I pray that your life would preach quietly, that others would see your steadiness, your reliability, your peace. And they would ask, not how you became perfect, but how you became faithful. And you will know the answer. You stayed. You returned. You practiced love in ordinary days. I pray that when discipline feels heavy, you would remember me beside you. I'm not ahead of you demanding more. I am not behind you judging failure. I am with you, teaching you how to walk. Step by step, choice by choice, day by day. I pray that consistency would shape you gently, but surely. That success, true success, would grow from who you are becoming, not just what you achieve. And I bless you now, with endurance when motivation fades, with clarity when distraction rises, with grace when you stumble, with strength to begin again. Remain in me, and let discipline become the quiet love story between who you are and who you are becoming. My beloved, remain with me still. Do not rush away from this place, for discipline is not learned in a moment. It is received over time. I know how easily your attention is pulled elsewhere. I know how quickly the world teaches you to chase urgency instead of depth. But I am patient with you, and I pray patience into you. I pray that you would learn the sacred power of repetition, not the dull repetition that drains the soul, but the holy repetition that forms it. Just as the ocean reshapes stone not through force, but through faithful return, so will consistency reshape you. You're not being asked to conquer your life in a day. You're being invited to tend it daily. I pray that discipline would free you from the tyranny of extremes. The extremes of overcommitment followed by collapse. The extremes of passionate beginnings followed by quiet abandonment. The extremes of self-criticism that leave you paralyzed instead of changed. I pray that you would learn the wisdom of the middle path, the narrow way. The way of showing up when the work feels ordinary. The way of doing what you said you would do even when no one is watching. The way of choosing alignment over applause. This is the way I walked. I did not heal every person in Israel in a single day. I did not explain every mystery at once. I did not rush my Father's timing to satisfy human impatience. I stayed faithful to the path given to me. And I pray that you would become faithful to your path, not someone else's calling, not someone else's pace, not someone else's measure of success. Discipline teaches you to honor your own assignment. I pray over the places where you feel behind, the moments when comparison whispers that you should be further along by now, the days when you look at others and feel delayed, diminished, discouraged. I pray that discipline would silence comparison by grounding you in purpose. For a disciplined life is not a hurried life, it is an intentional one. You are not late. You are not forgotten. You are not failing because growth feels slow. Seeds grow in darkness long before they break ground. I pray that discipline would teach you to trust what is happening beneath the surface, that you would continue to water what is not yet sprouted, that you would protect what is still fragile, that you would resist the urge to uproot what needs time. I pray over your faith when it feels repetitive, when prayers sound familiar, when scriptures feel known, when spiritual practices feel routine rather than electric. Do not despise this season. Familiarity does not mean absence. It often means deepening. Discipline teaches you to remain when novelty fades. And remaining is how roots grow. I pray that you would stop chasing constant spiritual stimulation and start cultivating spiritual stability. For storms do not uproot those who are rooted. I pray over your integrity, that discipline would train you to live the same way in private as you do in public. That your yes would remain yes even when it costs you. That your no would remain no even when pressure mounts. Integrity is not built in dramatic moments. It is built in thousands of small, consistent choices. And I pray that these choices would shape you into someone trustworthy, first with me, then with others. I pray over your use of time. Time is not your enemy, it is your field. Discipline teaches you to sow wisely. Not everything that demands your attention deserves your energy. Not everything that feels urgent is truly important. I pray you would learn to choose what aligns with your calling, not just what fills your calendar. Let discipline guard your focus. For what you give your time to give shape to your life. I pray over your words, that discipline would teach you restraint where silence is needed. That discipline would teach you courage where truth must be spoken. That your speech would become consistent with your values. Words repeated become habits. Habits repeated become character. And I pray your character would reflect love, truth, and wisdom. I pray over your relationships, that discipline would help you show up consistently, not only when it feels convenient. Love grows through presence. Trust grows through reliability. Unity grows through repeated acts of care. I pray you would learn that faithfulness in relationships is a form of discipline and one of the most powerful ones. I pray over your forgiveness. Forgiveness is not a one-time decision. It is a repeated practice. I pray discipline would help you release resentment again and again, each time it tries to reclaim your heart. For unforgiveness is exhausting, but forgiveness practiced consistently becomes freedom. I pray over your dreams. The ones you have carried quietly, the ones you started and stopped, the ones you fear hoping for again. I pray that discipline would help you revive them, not through obsession, but through steady action. Dreams survive on consistency more than inspiration. I pray you would stop waiting for the perfect moment. The perfect moment rarely arrives, but disciplined action creates momentum. I pray over your courage. Discipline requires courage, not the loud kind, but the quiet kind that chooses to continue. The courage to practice when improvement is slow. The courage to obey when rewards are delayed. The courage to trust when outcomes are unclear. I pray that courage would meet you daily. I pray over your failures. Yes, your failures. I pray discipline would teach you how to respond to them with humility instead of shame. Shame says stop. Discipline says learn and continue. I do not ask you to never fall. I ask you to rise consistently. Every time you rise, you strengthen the muscles of perseverance. I pray over your consistency when life feels unstable, when circumstances shift, when plans fall apart, when certainty disappears. Discipline becomes your anchor in these moments. When you cannot control outcomes, you can still choose faithfulness. And faithfulness will carry you when clarity cannot. I pray over your inner dialogue, that discipline would teach you to speak to yourself with truth rather than condemnation. You are not lazy because growth takes time. You are not weak because discipline feels difficult. You are human, and humans learn through practice. I pray you would extend to yourself the same patience I extend to you. I pray over your rest. Rest is not a reward for discipline. It is part of it. I pray you would discipline yourself to stop when stopping is necessary. To sleep, to breathe, to delight. Burnout is not holiness. A disciplined life includes restoration. I pray you would stop glorifying exhaustion and start honoring sustainability. I pray over your obedience when no one notices. Heaven notices. Every unseen act of faithfulness is recorded in eternity. I pray you would trust that nothing done in love is wasted. Not one prayer, not one effort, not one day of consistency. All of it is forming you. I pray that discipline would shape your success differently than the world defines it. Success that does not cost you your soul. Success that does not fracture your relationships. Success that does not hollow you out. I pray for success rooted in alignment. With me, with truth, with love. I pray you would finish what you start, not perfectly, but faithfully. I pray that when you look back on your life, you will not see a series of dramatic moments, but a long story of devotion. A life shaped not by impulse, but by intention. I pray that discipline would become your companion, not your enemy. That you would stop fearing it and start trusting it. For discipline is simply love refusing to quit. And I am with you in every step. When you rise early, when you choose again, when you begin after stopping, when you keep going despite fatigue. I am there. I strengthen you. I walk beside you. I rejoice in your persistence. Remain in me, and let consistency continue its quiet work in you, until your life becomes a testimony of faithfulness that speaks louder than words. Father, I come to you carrying the heart of the one who reads this prayer. I bring their questions, their wonder, their quiet longing to understand more than what the surface of the world offers them. I bring you their curiosity, not the restless kind that distracts, but the holy hunger you planted in them before they ever learned language. I ask you now to breathe upon it. You formed them with eyes that search, a mind that asks why, and a spirit that refuses to be satisfied with shallow answers. This was not an accident. This was not rebellion. This was your design. Long before they asked their first question, you delighted in the fact that they would be a seeker. Father, protect their curiosity from fear. So many have been taught to silence their questions. They were told that faith meant certainty without exploration, obedience without understanding, acceptance without wrestling. But you and I know this is not how you shaped the soul. You did not tell Jacob to stop wrestling. You blessed him through it. You did not rebuke Solomon for asking for wisdom. You honored him for it. You did not turn away the disciples when they asked again and again, "What does this mean?" You welcomed them closer. So now I ask, let this one never feel ashamed for wanting to know more. When they encounter mystery, let them lean forward, not retreat. When they meet something they do not understand, let their curiosity become a bridge rather than a barrier. Teach them that questions are not the enemy of faith. Apathy is. Father, give them the courage to follow curiosity even when it leads them beyond familiar borders. When their searching brings them into new ideas, new perspectives, New disciplines of learning guard their heart but do not shrink their mind. Let them explore science and still see your fingerprints. Let them study the universe and still recognize it as a whisper of your voice. Let them read deeply, think critically, and reason honestly without losing reverence. I ask you to teach them how to ask questions the way I did. I asked, "Who do you say that I am?" I asked, "What do you want me to do for you?" I asked, "Do you want to be healed?" I asked not because I lacked knowledge, but because questions awaken truth in the one who answers. Let their curiosity become a tool of awakening. When they read scripture, let it not become stale or routine. Let every passage breathe again. Let old words reveal new layers. Let familiar verses unfold deeper meanings as they grow. And when they encounter passages that trouble them, confuse them, or challenge them, do not let them close the book in fear. Let them sit with it, wrestle with it, ask you about it. Father, you are not fragile. Truth does not break under scrutiny. Bless their late-night thoughts, the ones that keep them awake, wondering about purpose, eternity, justice, suffering, love, and truth. When they lie staring at the ceiling, turning life over in their mind, meet them there. Whisper insight. Give them peace when answers are slow, and clarity when the moment is right. Let them learn the difference between impatience and pursuit. Teach them that some truths are revealed quickly, and others unfold only after endurance. Some knowledge comes through study. Other wisdom comes only through living. Give them patience with the process of learning and humility when they realize how much there is still to know. Father, guard their curiosity from pride. Knowledge without love can harden the heart. Insight without humility can isolate the soul. I ask you to anchor their curiosity in compassion. Let what they learn make them kinder, not colder. Softer, not sharper. More gracious, not more judgmental. When they discover something new, let them ask, how does this help me love better? If their curiosity ever begins to pull them away from love, gently redirect it. If it ever becomes a way to feel superior rather than connected, remind them that the greatest wisdom is still love. Teach them to remain teachable. No matter how much they learn, keep them curious enough to listen. Let them hear truth, even when it comes from unexpected mouths. Let them recognize wisdom even when it arrives wrapped in simplicity. Let them stay open, never assuming they have arrived at the end of understanding. Father, bless their curiosity about people. Let them wonder about other stories rather than judge them. Let them ask questions that open doors instead of closing them. Make them a safe place for honesty, a refuge for dialogue, a companion for those who feel unseen. Let their curiosity about humanity mirror my own, full of compassion, not suspicion. When they encounter pain they do not understand, do not let them look away. Let curiosity become empathy. Let lead them to sit beside suffering, not analyze it from a distance. And when their curiosity leads them toward you, toward deeper prayer, deeper trust, deeper surrender, meet them generously. Do not hide yourself from them. Reveal your character, not just your power. Let them know your heart, not just your name. Answer some questions with words, others with silence, and others with presence. Teach them that mystery is not absence, it is depth. Father, keep their curiosity alive even when life becomes heavy. Disappointment can dull wonder. Repetition can numb awe. Pain can make the soul tired of asking. I ask you to revive their curiosity when it fades. Rekindle their desire to learn, to grow, to see again with fresh eyes. Let them never become cynical. Let them grow older without growing closed. Let experience deepen them, not harden them. Let them remain students of life until their final breath. And Father, one day, when they stand in your presence, and every question finally finds its answer, not in explanation, but in revelation, let them realize that their curiosity was always a path leading home. Until then, bless their seeking, honor their questions, sanctify their wonder. I place their curious heart into your hands, knowing you delight in it even more than they do. Father, I lift before you the soul whose heart refuses to settle for the surface of things. The one whose spirit leans forward into the unknown. The one who feels an inner fire that keeps asking why, how, and what lies beyond this. That fire did not come from restlessness alone, it came from you. You placed eternity in their heart, and curiosity is how eternity knocks from the inside. I ask you to bless that fire, not extinguish it. There are moments when they have wondered if their curiosity makes them difficult, different, or out of place. Moments when they felt too deep for shallow spaces, too thoughtful for hurried conversations, too inquisitive for rigid systems. Father, remind them now, I too, unsettled rooms. I too, asked questions that made people uncomfortable. I too, refused easy answers when souls were at stake. Let them know they are not broken for asking. Guard them from shrinking themselves to fit environments that fear depth. Give them discernment to know when to speak, when to listen, and when to walk away from places that demand silence instead of sincerity. Father, teach them how to carry curiosity with peace. Sometimes their mind runs faster than their heart can keep up. Sometimes their thoughts multiply, branching into possibilities, theories, and concerns that leave them restless. Teach them that curiosity does not require anxiety. Let them rest even while seeking. Let them trust that unanswered questions are not failures, they are invitations. I ask you to slow them without dulling them. When they pursue knowledge, guide their steps. Not every open door leads to truth, and not every compelling idea is rooted in wisdom. Give them discernment sharper than information. Let your spirit act as both compass and filter, drawing them toward what enlightens and away from what distorts. Father, let their curiosity draw them into intimacy with you, not distance. There will be moments when they encounter ideas that challenge what they were taught about you. Do not let fear push them away. Walk with them through the tension. Show them that truth does not fear examination, and that you are larger than any framework they have inherited. If something they learn is false, let it collapse gently. If something is incomplete, let it expand. If something is true, let it anchor them deeper in you. Teach them that faith is not the absence of curiosity. It is the courage to trust while still seeking. Father, bless their love of learning. When they read, let understanding bloom. When they listen, let insight take root. When they observe the world, the patterns of nature, the complexity of people, the beauty of systems seen and unseen, let wonder rise within them again and again. Let curiosity become worship. Let science lead them to awe. Let philosophy lead them to humility. Let art lead them to beauty. Let silence lead them to reverence. When they feel the ache of not knowing, remind them that even my disciples walked with me daily and still asked, what does this mean? Remind them that confusion is not distance from truth. It is often the doorway into it. Father, protect them from burnout. Curiosity can exhaust the soul if it is driven by pressure instead of joy. If they ever feel they must know everything, remind them they're not God. Teach them the freedom of limits. Let them learn eagerly, but rest deeply. Let them pursue wisdom without carrying the weight of omniscience. I ask you to teach them when to stop researching and start trusting. When answers remain elusive, let peace stand guard over their mind. Let them know that some truths unfold only with time, and others only in your presence. Father, shape their curiosity into service. What they learn is not meant to terminate in them. Let insight flow outward. Let knowledge become guidance for others. Let understanding become compassion. Let wisdom become light for those still walking in darkness. When they speak, let their words invite others to think, not shame them for not knowing. Let them ask questions that heal, not interrogate. Make them a bridge between minds, not a wall. Father, bless their curiosity about me. Let them ask who I am beyond what they have heard. Let them encounter me personally, not just doctrinally. Let them know my voice, my ways, my heart. And when they realize that knowing me is a lifelong unfolding, not a finished achievement, let joy, not frustration, fill them. Teach them that eternal life is knowing you, and knowing is a living, breathing process. One day, when curiosity finally gives way to clarity, when seeking gives way to seeing, and when faith gives way to fullness, let them look back and realize that every question was a step closer to you. Until that day, keep the fire alive. Keep the questions honest. Keep the wonder sacred. I bless their curiosity now, Father, and entrust it into your care, the safest place it can ever rest. Father, I come to you again carrying this soul, the one who keeps searching even when answers come slowly, the one whose curiosity has not faded with age, experience, disappointment, or familiarity, the one who still leans toward mystery instead of away from it. I bring you their wondering heart because it reflects something of my own. For I did not walk the earth merely to give answers. I came to invite people into relationship, and curiosity is how relationship begins. Father, teach them now that their curiosity is not just a tool for learning, but a doorway into intimacy with you. There was a time when their questions were loud, urgent, almost restless. They wanted clarity, certainty, resolution. And you honor that season. You fed their hunger with insight, teaching, and discovery. But now I ask you to lead them into a deeper phase where curiosity no longer rushes ahead of trust, but walks beside it. Let them learn how to ask questions without demanding control. So many questions are really cries for safety. So many pursuits of knowledge are attempts to avoid uncertainty. I ask you to free them from the need to master everything they encounter. Let them rest in the understanding that not knowing is not weakness. It is the posture of humility that makes space for revelation. Father, teach them the holiness of unanswered questions. There are truths that cannot be explained. They must be experienced. There are mysteries that resist language but speak fluently to the soul. When they reach the edge of what can be understood, let them not turn back in frustration. Let them sit at the edge with me. Let curiosity mature into reverence. When they encounter you in silence, help them recognize that silence is not absence. When you do not explain yourself, help them see that you are inviting trust, not withholding love. Teach them that mystery is not a problem to be solved, but a presence to be entered. Father, I ask you to reframe how they see wisdom. Let them understand that wisdom is not the accumulation of facts, but alignment with truth. That insight is not proven by how much they know, but by how deeply they love. That the truest knowledge is lived, embodied, and shared through compassion. If they ever begin to measure their worth by how much they understand, gently dismantle that illusion. Remind them that they are loved before they know, while they are learning, and even when they misunderstand. Father, bless their curiosity about suffering. They have asked hard questions about pain, why it exists, why it persists, why it touches some lives so deeply. Do not let these questions turn bitter. Let them soften the heart instead. Teach them that not all suffering has an explanation, but all suffering can be met with presence. When they cannot explain pain, let curiosity become solidarity. Let them ask, how can I walk with you? Instead of, why did this happen? Let their questions move them closer to brokenness, not away from it. Father, teach them how to be curious without being intrusive. Let them learn when to ask and when to simply be, when curiosity should speak and when love should listen. Shape their discernment so that their desire to understand never overrides another person's dignity. Let their curiosity always serve love. Father, bless their curiosity about themselves. There are parts of their own heart they're still discovering, motives they don't fully understand, patterns they didn't consciously choose, wounds that still speak. Give them courage to explore themselves honestly without condemnation. Let curiosity become a pathway to healing rather than self-judgment. When they uncover something broken, remind them that discovery is the beginning of restoration, not shame. When they realize something needs to change, remind them that growth is not proof of failure, it is evidence of life. Father, guide their curiosity toward transformation. Let what they learn actually change how they live. Let insight turn into practice. Let revelation turn into obedience. Let understanding reshape habits, relationships, priorities, and posture. Protect them from curiosity that stops at admiration but never moves to action. If they learn about justice, let them pursue it. If they learn about mercy, let them practice it. If they learn about love, let them embody it. Father, teach them that curiosity reaches its fullness when it becomes obedience. I did not merely teach, I lived what I knew. I did not only reveal truth, I was the truth. Let their curiosity follow the same arc, from wonder to understanding to incarnation. Father, bless the moments when curiosity fades. There will be seasons when they feel dull, tired, or uninspired, when questions no longer excite them and learning feels heavy. Do not let them panic. Teach them that rest is not regression. That quiet seasons often prepare the soil for deeper growth. When curiosity sleeps, guard their heart with peace. And when it awakens again, let it rise wiser, gentler, and more focused than before. Father, teach them the final purpose of curiosity. Curiosity is not meant to end in knowledge. It is meant to lead to love. Every question ultimately points toward connection. Every pursuit of truth longs for union. And all knowing finds its completion in relationship with you. Let them realize that eternal life is not endless information, but endless intimacy. One day, they will stand before you and see clearly what they once searched for in fragments. And even then, curiosity will not disappear. It will transform into eternal wonder. Not because answers are lacking, but because your depth is infinite. Until that day, Father, keep shaping their curiosity. Refine it, ground it, sanctify it. Let it no longer pull them outward in restlessness, but draw them inward toward communion with you. Let their questions become prayers. Let their seeking become surrender. Let their wonder become worship. I entrust their curious soul to you once more, knowing that you delight in seekers. Walk patiently with learners, and reveal yourself to those who ask, not always with explanations, but always with love. Amen.